Hello. So I'm making my first video. Might get uploaded to YouTube or it might not. I used to write journals and I used to write down basically the thoughts I'd have, and I think I'm someone who likes to think a lot about things, and I just wanted to put that in video format and kind of just share it. So anything I say right now is pretty much from my own experiences. Maybe it's generally applicable. Maybe someone else can benefit from this if they feel certain in a similar way. But yeah, this is purely just my opinion, just generally speaking. So, what I wanted to touch on today was pretty much just talking about being content, being happy with what you have, happy with the situations you're in, being happy for your existence. Because I was walking today and I saw an older gentleman with his wife, and I see this quite often, I think. Whenever I'm outside, I'll see some older man or older gentleman just walking and just purely enjoying his walk. Maybe he's thinking about something, maybe not, but I just think that's so peaceful. And it really made me think about as a generation and where most people are at, or at least I assume, a lot of people are like stuck up on social media. They think through the lens of social media and what what can I do to present myself, and basically I don't know, like pretty much when they do things, there's a sort of, oh yeah, like showing off that comes with it. With that, I've been trying to get off social media. Whenever I'm on Instagram, or TikTok, let's say, I'll be scrolling sometimes for hours, most times for hours probably. It's pretty addictive. And you just get lost in the sauce, I guess. You really just get lost in the scrolls. I've been using that time to really do anything. I feel like going on a walk or even like doing nothing and just like meditating, thinking, uh, like analyzing would have been better than scrolls, right? Would have been better than putting my energy into scrolling on my phone, watching meaningless content that I probably won't even remember the next day. So I had to delete the apps, and I'm not sure if that resonates with anyone. Maybe someone is going through the same experience, or maybe everyone is perfectly able to control themselves with the amount of time they spend on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Maybe I just have that sort of issue. Anyway, I deleted the apps. Usually when I delete these apps, because I have in the past before, I find that I am much more at peace, much more, I have more coherent thoughts. I'm able to just think about things and also be more in the moment than I am when I have those apps, because when I have those apps, any sort of moment I have of free time, just it's like I don't know, a reaction to doing nothing. Oh, I'm doing nothing. Let me get on the apps and let's see what hypes me up, pretty much. You know, and there could be an argument that could be made. It's these apps, they're good. I get some beneficial information from them, maybe like news. Um, you know, but to be honest, I think they're more of a detriment than they are something that's beneficial. I think that if you really look at it, like they're more harmful than they are helpful. Because you could be looking at something that is beneficial and that is uh useful information, and one scroll later, you're looking at something else that's completely meaningless, but you keep scrolling because you want to get back to information. So you're in a cycle. So it's better to just, I think it's just better to break away from that cycle, to be honest. I think that a lot of what we do nowadays is we get stuck in chasing dopamine, right? But I think we need to do more self-reflection. We need to spend more time analyzing our lives, analyzing how we feel, and like kind of like introspection. I think that's what the word is. So that we can, obviously have a healthier mental state, maybe think more clearly, but also I think having introspection, having that time to really just, you know, focus in that solitude helps you become a better person and live a better life, you know? So, yeah, because a lot of the times we're just comparing ourselves to things on social media. We'll be caught up more about other people's lives than we'll care about what we're currently doing in our life. We'll be looking at the stories, reels, posts, whatever. Oh, this person did this person did this. But what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, even if you were in your thoughts really, I don't know, just thinking, I think that would be way better, way more beneficial. And yeah, you could say, yeah, maybe you can do both, you know, maybe you can uh, have your scrolls and also have your thinking time. But at least when I put it into practice, it's not, it does not turn out to be something that you can manage. It really is one or the other sometimes. And I think an argument could be made that you really don't even need to scroll at all. Also, I just think that being on social media, it it makes you more disconnected from reality, funny enough, because it's supposed to connect people, but I think it really does disconnect people from reality. And so the only way to really get connected back into reality, also and free your mind from, you know, the dopamine chase, I guess, is to really just get off it in general. Another thing that I wanted to talk about during COVID, there was a lot of Andrew Tate, Iman Ghatzi, these type of male figures, right? The ones that are telling you, "Where's your Bugatti?" Like those sorts of things. It's like, and obviously, I was even caught up into that. But looking at it now, it's like, I don't know. I don't even think having those things is the true happiness. And you could tell me, yeah, maybe it's because I don't have those things and I don't know. But what I could tell you is that even in the moment I am now, where I'm in the process of school, working a bit, hanging out with friends a bit, I would say and family, I would say I'm generally happy. I don't think I'm really missing out on anything when it comes to having that stuff. Of course, it makes life easier in the material way, but I would rather, I don't know, I think it's good to be in different situations. Not everyone has to be an Andrew Tate, Iman Ghatzi, and I could be coping, but I really don't think that material gain is the end all be all for everyone. Some people may like that stuff and they can feed into their desires and such, but I think disconnecting from your desires, disconnecting from that is truly being free. If you are able to be happy without having to have things, I think that is as free as it gets. That has to be the most free feeling because even if you're maybe you're having these problems on the external, but you're within yourself, you're still happy because you're content in the position you're in and you're hopeful for the future. Not everyone can be the 1%, and I don't think that's what people realize. And if they do, then that means it's just a race against one another for who's going to get to the so-called top. And I don't want to live that way. I guess you can call me more of a utilitarian, um, wanting the best for the most people, but it's not like you can market that, be 1%, be like me, have a Bugatti, but it's just not, it doesn't turn out good for everyone. And if we're basing our lives as successful based on the material possessions that we have, a lot of people are not going to be happy with the position they're in, and that might lead to mental illness. So you have to think about that. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's most important for you to find out a way to be content with the situation you're in. Obviously, you can have goals, hope for things, but don't let that be your source of happiness by what you hope to achieve in the future. That can be a part of your journey, but it should not be your sole reason for living. Look outside, look at the clouds. We're looking straight at monetary gain, but look at the trees, like look at the sunshine, look at the beauty that is outside. Appreciate that you're alive. Some people live in pain and torture in prisons, and you're free. You get to go outside, you get to live your life. So just think about that the next time you're in your hustle mindset and you want to get to uh, the 1% level. Of course, you can do that. That's you. You got that. I'm just saying there might be a better way for everyone in terms of let's not be so selfish, but be content and also think about helping others and such. And maybe that's your goal. You want to get rich so you can help others, and that's good. But if you don't get rich, don't kill yourself over it. You know what I mean? That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Yeah.